How did you like? What set you on your entrepreneurship journey? Because I know you went to school and you got your degree
Hmm.
to be an optometrist, but what sent you on a path of entrepreneurship?
So, some people know, I don't know if people know, my parents are entrepreneurs. So
Okay.
my dad, he was a builder, and he did that. He was a contractor. And then they built a daycare. So we've had a daycare in our family for 30 years. So I watched that, and that's a different conversation. We ain't gonna do that on this podcast. But I watched them do that with the business, and what I loved was at the time what was freedom. I'll keep it simple and say that my mom could move how she wanted to move, and I always loved that she could come to everything. My dad was present for a lot of stuff, so they could kind of move how they wanted to move. So that was the upside of that view of entrepreneurship. um so when we were at Xavier, right, I thought I was going to medical school.
Yeah.
So I don't know if people, this is a part of my story. I always tell this part of the story. I thought I was going to medical school. We took the MCAT. We had Katrina happen, and we still took the MCAT. All this stuff was happening, and I did not do good on the MCAT. So that's how that went, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, what the hell am I about to do? And that was one of the first times I think that I kind of dealt with like depression, like a mild depression, because
Okay.
we had just come off of um, Katrina.
Yeah.
There was nothing to do in New Orleans. We are trying to figure ourselves out. It's senior year, like what's about to happen. Don't know what's going to happen. Um, and so what happened was that I ended up graduating and not getting into medical school. So I was riding along down St. Charles with my line sister Tiffany, and she was like, "Girl, you need to come on over to do optometry with me." And I'm like, oh, gosh, tell me more. So anyway, we ended up talking. And that summer after my senior year, I did a program to re-prep for the MCAT, but I simultaneously studied for optometry school,
Oh
right?
wow.
So, or the OAT. So
Yeah.
I took the MCAT and the OAT. And I ended up getting into optometry school and getting waitlisted again for medical school. And I was like, nah, I'm straight. Because by then I kind of figured out, like, do you really even want to do this? I had done the summer program. They was cutting up bodies and stuff. And I was like,
Oh wow.
I don't even really think I really want to do this too much. Like,
Yeah.
like I think I could have done it, but I would have crawled through. Like, I'm like, I don't think I would have thrived through medical school.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to optometry school, and that was great. And then because I kind of had that type A, like do everything that you're supposed to do, I also did a residency. So when I did my residency, that was my point, right?
Yeah.
Because I was working and it was mad demoralizing, and that's we could podcast about that, like black people in medical field, like, and we
Yeah.
could talk about that for days. But at any rate, what I knew in that period was that I wasn't gonna work for anybody. I was tired. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I could work hard. I could do what I need to do, but I don't like the disrespect culture. I knew I wasn't gonna do academia. And then the one job interview I went to, the guy was like, "Yeah, you gonna work every Saturday." And I'm like, "Well, look, I'm a socialite. Okay, it's not possible. You know what I'm saying? That I'm be
Right.
able to come
Yeah.
to your job every Saturday. Like,
Yeah.
even though the field indicates that a lot of optometrists work on Saturdays. So from there, I started reaching out to reaching out to connects I had made. So
Yeah.
I ended up going the route of getting a Sam's Club lease. So my entrepreneurship started 10 years ago. So a lot of people don't know. I've owned
Wow.
my practice. I practice in retail locations, right? But it's my practice. So I'm responsible for hiring, doing all the credentialing, doing all my billing, doing all of my stuff. So I've been an entrepreneur since 2013. Um, but that's the thing about entrepreneurship. Sometimes as an entrepreneur, a business owner, you are just working a job, right? Because you don't have a forecast or like the way you make money, okay, let me stop with all the cute shit. I wasn't making no money, y'all. I was working a lot and I wasn't making any money. And I was free. Like I moved how I wanted to move ish, right? Like nobody was checking for me. Nobody was like, "Oh, you're late." Nobody was like, "Oh, do it like this." Nobody was checking for me, but I didn't have no money. So really, if you want to know about the entrepreneurship that I think is going to actually really ultimately set me free, which is the eyewear, 2017 was when I was like, girl, you ain't making no money. What you going to do? And then 2018, I sat down with some friends and I was like, I need a breakthrough. And so I came up with the idea for the eyewear.
Wow.
And it was supposed to be passion, right? No. I was looking for, Mike, I was looking for passive income.
Mm-hmm.
And what I landed on was this eyewear thing. And this has been the most not passive income. This has been the hardest thing I have ever done.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What's keeping you pushing with it?
It's needed, right? The industry needs it. And it's absolutely going to make me, it's going to make me a millionaire. And I'm going to have that financial freedom that I want to have and be able to create some generational wealth and set some other people free. I definitely want the generations behind me to be like able to dream and like live out their dreams and like whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
I know that seems very whimsical, but
No, not at all. that sounds inspiring to me.
What's going on, y'all? It's Mike Brown here of The Art of Letting Go. Just reminding you to subscribe to the YouTube page. We're trying to build it up. I know we kind of low, but we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. So help us out. Subscribe to the page, and thank y'all. I appreciate it.